7 signs you're a highly attractive man, even if women don't say it out loud. Old Stoic wisdom. The way you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Okay, Srenia RuPaul. As men, many of us walk through life unsure of where we stand on the attraction scale. You may think of yourself as average or even invisible at times, but the truth is, you're likely far more attractive than you realize. Here's the thing. Most men rarely hear compliments about their looks, even when they deserve them. Women often won't openly acknowledge it, and other men may hold back for reasons of rivalry or competition. Attraction, in many ways, is subtle, and you may not always get those words of affirmation you crave. So how can you tell if you're one of the few men who stand out in the crowd? It's not just about looking good on the outside. There are deeper, psychological signals that set you apart. Today, I'm going to break down the 7 clear signs that show you're not just an ordinary guy, you're highly attractive in ways that go beyond skin deep. Let's dive into it. 1. Women get nervous around you. Listen closely. If you think that when a woman gets nervous or fidgety around you, it's because she's uncomfortable or disinterested, you're missing something critical. The truth is, when a woman becomes nervous in your presence, it's often a clear sign you're highly attractive, though she may not say it aloud. You see, attraction doesn't need to be verbalized. In fact, it's often felt long before words come into play. A woman's body language will reveal everything her mouth can't express. When she's attracted to you, you'll see subtle clues, awkward gestures, shifting posture, or even a slight blush. Her body instinctively reacts to your presence in ways she may not even notice herself. Take her body language as the primary indicator. It's not unusual for her to touch her hair, play with a necklace, or even adjust her clothing. These aren't mere habits, they are signals. She's instinctively drawing attention to her most vulnerable feminine traits. Her subconscious mind is telling you, "Here I am, pay attention to me." If a woman doesn't feel a connection, she won't exhibit these behaviors. In fact, if she treats you like one of her brother's friends, calm, relaxed, and casual, chances are she doesn't feel the spark. But when she's nervous, when she drops things, trips over her words, or avoids your eyes for a moment, that's your cue. You've got her attention, and it's magnetic. This nervousness isn't a sign of discomfort. It's a primal response triggered by attraction. She's aware of your presence in a way that heightens her self-consciousness. Suddenly, she'll adjust her hair, straighten her posture, or glance at her reflection, hoping she looks perfect for you. These are subconscious efforts, instinctive even. Women, much like the peacock displaying its feathers or the lion puffing up its mane, naturally want to present their best selves to those they find alluring. But it's not always the same for every woman. Some will stare at you boldly, locking eyes in a way that makes you feel like you're playing a mental game. She's testing you, seeing if you can handle the intensity of her gaze. Will you break the connection first? Will you be the one to look away? Or will you match her intensity and hold the gaze? This challenge, this little tug-of-war of eye contact, speaks volumes about her attraction to you. And if you've ever caught a woman stealing a glance at you, only for her to look away quickly as soon as your eyes meet, don't mistake it for shame. It's not guilt, it's vulnerability. She's trying to mask her deep attraction with a brief avoidance, afraid that prolonged eye contact will reveal too much. Alternatively, there are some bold women who do the exact opposite. Instead of avoiding eye contact, they'll actually stare at you intensely, holding eye contact for just a second too long, trying to test you. It's a challenge, a mental game. She wants to see if you'll flinch. Will you look away first? Will you break under pressure? Or will you match her energy? So be aware. Women don't just show nervousness for no reason. When you notice her fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or adjusting her appearance around you, it's because she's acutely aware of your presence. She's drawn to you on a level that goes beyond words. This is a reflection of an attraction that's undeniable, and it's not just the result of any superficial trait. It's a deep, magnetic pull rooted in the Stoic principles of self-confidence and control. Your presence, Your ability to remain calm and grounded brings out this nervous energy in her. You're not merely appealing in a traditional sense. You're a man who exudes that iron mind, the calmness and poise of one who understands the power of being both strong and present in the moment. This is the essence of the old Stoic wisdom, controlling your emotions, mastering your own response, and allowing the world to be drawn to your steady energy. Women sense that strength, and it's exactly why they can't help but react to you. 2. Other men act differently around you. Now, I know this isn't the first sign you'd expect in a video like this, but hear me out. Ever walked into a room and suddenly everything feels different? The energy shifts, almost like you've just dropped a pebble in a still pond, sending ripples across the room. You catch a few guys sizing you up, some giving you a subtle nod of respect, while others, well, they get passive-aggressive or try their best to pretend you don't even exist. If this sounds familiar, congratulations, you're a threat. In the complex world of male social dynamics, being a threat is a sign of one thing and one thing only. You're an attractive man, and not just in the typical look good in a suit sense. No, we're talking about an attraction that runs deeper, one that comes from confidence, composure, and that silent force that draws attention without even trying. Men, by nature, are competitive. Whether they admit it or not, they size each other up in every room. They can't help it. The moment a truly attractive man enters the space, every other guy begins to evaluate where they stand in relation to him. Do they feel threatened? Are they insecure? Or do they feel they can match his energy and hold their own? And here's the kicker. Most guys don't like being outshone. It's like a silent rule in the unspoken manual of male competition. So if you notice guys giving you longer than usual stares, subtly checking out your outfit, or even mirroring your body language, they've clocked you in as a competitor. They're assessing whether they measure up. Some, especially the insecure ones, may take it a step further and try to test you. Imagine you tell a joke, and suddenly one of them feels the need to outdo you with something wittier or bolder. Or you share a story, and without warning, they interrupt, eager to one-up you with a better version. These aren't just casual conversations. No, this is a tactical move, an attempt to assert dominance. Why? Because deep down they know that you hold the spotlight, and that's a hard pill to swallow for an insecure guy. So what's your move? Don't engage. A truly attractive man never needs to prove himself. The moment you feel someone trying to challenge you, just smile. Stay composed. Let them burn themselves out trying to one-up you. You win by not playing the game. And here's where it gets interesting. Some guys will go the opposite route and pretend you don't even exist. They'll avoid eye contact, act dismissive, or exclude you from group conversations. This passive-aggressive behavior isn't about being rude, it's about control. Acknowledging you would mean giving you power, and their ego won't allow them to do that. This is especially evident in social settings where women are present. A guy who feels threatened by you might try extra hard to downplay your presence, hoping to keep the spotlight entirely on himself. Now, here's where it all ties together. Women are hyper-aware of these subtle social dynamics. The way men interact with you, whether with admiration or envy, doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, it amplifies your attractiveness in her eyes. Women are instinctively drawn to high-status men. If she sees that other men react to you with respect or jealousy, that's a major indicator of your value in the social hierarchy. Think about it. You walk into a room and there's a noticeable shift. The men around you start acting funny, and a few women glance over, sensing that something is different. Congratulations, you're the main character in that space. And let me tell you, that's a damn good sign. This isn't about arrogance. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from understanding your own worth. It's the practical stoicism that makes you unshakable, regardless of the noise or the competition around you. Remember, a truly attractive man never has to announce it. He simply is, and others, especially other men, notice. You see, this is where the Stoic rules come into play. The Stoic teachings remind us that true power is quiet, And it's the men who walk the path of wisdom, undaunted by the egos and competition of others, who shine the brightest. And don't forget, Stoic rules aren't about controlling others, they're about mastering yourself. This is your journey of practical Stoicism, where the only competition is with your former self. So, next time you step into a room, pay attention. If men start acting funny, odds are you're the one they're measuring up to. And remember this, no matter how much they try to knock you down or pretend you don't exist, the paths of wisdom have already shown you one thing. You hold the power. Keep walking that path with quiet confidence, and the world will take notice. 3. Women try to challenge you. When a woman challenges you, it's an undeniable sign that you are a highly attractive man, whether or not she verbalizes it. Don't mistake her playful jabs or lack of overt interest as a sign of disapproval. In fact, it's the opposite. If she's throwing challenges your way, testing your confidence, or even acting unimpressed, take it as a serious indicator that she is intrigued by you. Women rarely test men they aren't interested in. If she wasn't attracted to you, she wouldn't engage at all. She wouldn't waste time teasing you or challenging you in any way. She'd simply ignore you or walk away. But when she challenges you, she's testing your resilience and your ability to handle emotional tension. It's a challenge, not a rejection. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, understood this principle well when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You must grasp the significance of this. The challenge isn't a sign of rejection, but rather a sign that she is paying attention, seeking to see how you will respond. Now, you must understand this essential truth. Attraction isn't based on what you look like. It's based on the energy you emit and the emotional tension you create. Women are drawn to men who are confident, who are unshaken by external events, and who know how to handle challenges, whether those challenges come from life or from a playful, teasing remark from her. You must be the kind of man who remains unflappable in the face of adversity, and that includes the little tests women throw your way. When she makes a teasing remark such as, "Oh, you think you're smooth, huh?" Or, "I bet you say that to all the girls," don't flinch, don't backpedal, don't try to explain yourself. Instead, smirk and tease her back. Engage with her playful challenge, rather than retreating into insecurity or defensiveness. These are the moments that reveal your strength, your ability to remain calm and composed under pressure. An attractive man doesn't get rattled by these remarks. He owns them. As you face these little tests, remember the words of the Stoic master Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, be willing to endure the discomfort of her challenge without letting it affect your emotional state. Don't worry about proving yourself. Don't try to win her approval with elaborate explanations or apologies. Just stay cool. Your ability to remain unaffected by her playful teasing shows your inner confidence, and that's a powerful signal of your high value. Sometimes, a woman might even pretend not to be impressed by you at all. You might share an interesting story or make a clever joke, and she might respond with a simple, "Oh, okay, that's cool, I guess," or a deadpan expression followed by a subtle smile when she thinks you aren't looking. This can easily be misinterpreted as disinterest, but nothing could be further from the truth. This is a deeper test, a test of your ability to hold her attention without relying on constant validation or the need for her to affirm your worth. She's challenging you to see if you can make her feel something, if you can evoke emotion without the need for external validation. If she wasn't interested, she'd just ignore you. But if she's subtly playing it cool, pretending not to care, that's her way of checking to see if you can rise to the occasion and generate that spark of attraction. In these moments, your role is simple. Remain confident. Don't chase after her approval. Don't try harder to impress her. Instead, stand firm in your own value. Know that you are worthy without needing her validation to prove it. The attractive man, the Stoic man, doesn't need to constantly prove his worth. His confidence comes from within. It's grounded in the deep understanding that he controls his own emotions. and he doesn't rely on others to determine his self-worth. As Epictetus wisely taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. You must master your emotional state, regardless of external circumstances. In today's world, where men are often encouraged to chase external validation, this Stoic mindset is more crucial than ever. You must be the man who holds his ground, who remains cool under pressure, who doesn't need to play games or try to manipulate the situation to get a woman's attention. When you hold your own, when you confidently respond to her playful tests with grace and composure, you create emotional tension. You make her feel something. And that emotional spark is the foundation of attraction. The next time a woman challenges you, don't get defensive. Don't get awkward or self-conscious. Don't apologize for being yourself. Instead, engage with her challenge with confidence, wit, and calm authority. Tease her back playfully. Let her know that her tests don't throw you off course. You are in control. You are the prize. Remember, life is a series of challenges, and those who thrive are the ones who can remain steady no matter what life throws their way. This is exactly what makes a man attractive. It's the calm and controlled demeanor that draws people to you. When you become that man, when you become the Stoic who remains unaffected by the outside world, you will master your own life. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You are the master of your emotions, your responses, and your actions. Don't let anything, least of all a playful challenge from a woman, distract you from your path. Own your confidence, and she will find you irresistible. The world will take notice. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I remain unshaken, confident, and magnetic. Drop this in the comments if you're owning your confidence and passing every challenge thrown your way. 4. Strangers stare at you without realizing it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a subtle weight on you, like people are looking at you without making it obvious? You know the feeling, someone's eyes linger on you just a second too long, and when you catch them, they quickly look away. Maybe you're just going about your business, when across the room, a woman locks eyes with you before hurriedly glancing down or away. If that's happening to you, let me tell you something. It's no accident. You, my friend, are the one. You're an attractive guy, whether you know it or not. Here's why. When a woman finds a man appealing, her body can't help but respond. She may not make a move, she may not even speak a word, but her eyes are her true tell. Even the most guarded, elusive woman cannot resist taking a peek at someone who catches her attention. It's instinct. The key thing is, she doesn't want to get caught. Women are masters of subtlety, and they'll drop quick glances, look away when you notice, or pretend they're focused on something else. But the real test comes when you catch her gaze and hold it, just for a second longer. If she looks away or nervously glances down, that's not a coincidence. She was checking you out. Trust me, the body can't lie, and neither can the eye. But here's the twist. This doesn't only apply to women. Men notice you too. However, the way they observe you is different. Men don't typically stare at other men in the same way women do. Instead, they give you that quick nod, the bro nod, as if acknowledging something without saying a word. They might check out your outfit, size you up, and gauge your energy in silence. It's a quiet form of respect or rivalry, depending on the guy. When you walk past a group of men, and some of them glance at you before quickly looking away, don't think it's a fluke. They noticed you. They felt that presence you carry. Some will respect it, others might feel threatened by it, but one thing's for sure, they see you. Now here's the sneaky part. Ever noticed how, when you enter a crowded space, people seem to naturally move out of your way? Maybe it's in a bar or at the gym. You glide through the crowd and somehow people part to give you space, almost without thinking. Or when you sit down, the people beside you subtly adjust themselves, straightening up or shifting position. That's not happenstance. It's because humans are wired to respond to dominant, high-value energy. And whether you realize it or not, you exude that kind of energy. Your presence speaks louder than any words you could say. This is a classic example of how the world shifts around an attractive man. It's like when people ask you, "Are you an athlete?" or "Do I know you from somewhere?" Even if you're just an average guy living your life, if you carry yourself like someone of value, people pick up on it. They want to know who you are, what makes you different from the rest of the pack. It's like an invisible force field that others can't quite put their finger on, but are drawn to all the same. This isn't just a coincidence. This is where the old Stoic wisdom comes into play. The Stoic principles teach us that self-control, a strong inner core, and an iron mind are the foundations of a powerful presence. When you live according to these principles, you carry yourself with a silent confidence that others pick up on. The key to this energy is rooted in your inner peace and the strength you project from within. A man who embraces these Stoic virtues doesn't need to make noise to be noticed. His calm, composed demeanor draws others in. It's not about being flashy, it's about being solid, unshakable, and present in any situation. So if you notice people staring at you, whether it's women or other men, remember, it's not by accident. Your iron mind and Stoic principles shine through, and the world can't help but take notice. Keep walking with that quiet confidence. It's magnetic. 5. You get special treatment without asking. If you're a truly attractive man, the world will subtly bend in your favor. And here's the kicker. You don't even have to ask for it. It's like you've tapped into an invisible force that makes people want to give you something extra without you lifting a finger. Ever had a woman compliment you on something so small, it almost seems trivial? Maybe she mentions how good your cologne smells, or asks you some random, unimportant question, like, "Hey, do you know what time it is?" Even though there's a clock just inches behind her. Sounds odd, doesn't it? But here's the thing. That's not mere politeness. No, my friend, that's her way of finding a reason to interact with you. She wants your attention, and she's using subtle cues to get it. And it's not just women. Pay attention next time you're in a social setting. Do people gravitate toward you, like they're instinctively pulled by some unseen force? Do women subtly shift in your direction? Do guys naturally include you in conversations, even when you've barely said a word? It's no accident. Attractive men don't just pull in women. They pull in people. Period. Regardless of gender. This is the magic of self-worth. It's an energy that attracts people without you having to exert any effort. So here's the secret. Attractiveness doesn't begin with how you look. It starts with how you feel about yourself. When you exude confidence and self-respect, the world starts treating you as if you're someone important. And that, my friend, is one of the biggest signs that you've got something special. It's power wrapped in subtlety. The world doesn't just respond to your looks, it responds to your presence. Ever noticed how, in a crowded bar, some guys struggle to get the bartender's attention? But when you step up, it's like they've been waiting for you. Your drink gets served immediately. Or maybe a waitress throws in a little extra smile, refills your drink without you even asking, or somehow gives you the best seat in the house without making it obvious. That's not just good service, it's attraction at play. People working in service are trained to be friendly, yes, but when they genuinely like you, their behaviour shifts into effortless generosity. They go the extra mile without even realising it. This is the essence of Stoic rules in action. A key part of practical Stoicism is understanding that your internal state, how you feel and think about yourself, shapes how the world responds to you. You create your own magnetism through confidence and self-respect. And people, especially in service, can sense that energy. Have you ever been treated to a surprise freebie? Maybe a barista hands you a free pastry just because, or a hotel gives you an upgrade to a suite without even asking. That's not coincidence. Attractive men experience these little perks more often than they realise. Why? Because people want to be around them. It's an unconscious thing. When we're around someone we find appealing, we want to do things for them. We want to impress them. It's human nature. And when you have that magnetic energy, The world is more inclined to offer you small rewards, just because. This isn't about playing games, nor is it about looks alone. It's about presence. It's about having the quiet assurance that you are important. So when you walk into a room, you don't need to make any noise. People can sense that you've got value without you saying a word. Let's not forget one of the most telling signs. If you're an attractive man, women will often do things for you without you even asking. It's not just that they'll smile more. It's the little things, like adjusting your collar or holding something for you when you're juggling a drink, your phone, or your coat. These aren't just polite gestures. They're signs of genuine attraction. Women don't nurture men they're not interested in. You must understand this. If a woman is finding ways to take care of you in even the smallest ways, you've captured her attention. Attractiveness is power, but it's also subtle. It's a quality that doesn't demand attention, but quietly commands respect and admiration. It's rooted in Stoic wisdom. Practical Stoicism teaches us that presence, respect, and self-worth are the true foundations of appeal. 6. Women get upset when you don't notice them. An undeniable and subtle sign that you're a man of high attraction, even if women don't verbally express it. Pay attention closely, because this is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, indicators. If you're an attractive man, you'll notice that women, especially those who are secretly interested in you, will act in ways that seem confusing. Out of nowhere, she might become distant, passive-aggressive, or start throwing random comments your way. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't offend her. Yet, her behavior shifts, and she becomes irritated. Why? It's simple. You didn't notice her. She's mad because she wanted your attention, and when you didn't give it, her ego took a hit. And let's be clear, if she's upset because you didn't notice her, it means she wants you to notice her. That is the unspoken rule of attraction. This may seem trivial, but it's not. This is how attraction operates beneath the surface, and if you're in tune with these signals, you'll understand the power you have. Have you ever been in a room or social gathering, and a woman who was perfectly fine suddenly starts acting cold or distant when you walk in? At first, she was laughing with friends, making small talk and engaged in the conversation. But then, the moment you enter the room and don't acknowledge her, her mood shifts completely. What changed? Nothing you did wrong. She was waiting for you to notice her first. When you didn't, it bruised her ego, making her feel insignificant. This is classic human behavior, driven by insecurity, but also by desire. A woman's pride is often linked to being noticed by the man she desires, and when that doesn't happen, frustration takes root. As an attractive man, you must recognize this. It's not about being oblivious or distant. It's about being aware and not taking these moments for granted. A woman who is attracted to you may even begin to raise her voice, laugh louder, or move more exaggeratedly when you enter a room. She's doing this to ensure that she catches your eye. This behavior isn't random or accidental. It's calculated, a strategy to subtly bring your attention toward her without being direct about it. She's testing the waters. Women will never act this way around men they don't find attractive. If she's doing this, understand this. She's trying to make sure you notice her. She wants to make her presence known in a way that's not too obvious, but still undeniable. Consider the times you've been at a bar, a party, or just walking around, and you notice a woman passing by you more than once. Is it coincidence? Absolutely not. She's positioning herself in a way that keeps her in your line of sight, hoping you'll eventually take notice. Women have mastered the art of subtlety when it comes to attraction. They won't always make the first move, but they will put themselves in a position where you can't help but be aware of them. A woman may even accidentally bump into you or ask a random question to start a conversation, or to initiate some kind of interaction. This behavior is strategic. Women understand the power of indirect approaches, knowing that if they play their cards right, you'll be intrigued enough to engage. Now let's bring this into the context of modern life. In a world where distractions are endless and attention spans are fleeting, women still rely on age-old tactics to get a man's attention. But as a man who knows his worth, you must understand that these signals are your victory. The key is awareness. If you want to dominate the game of attraction, You must know how to notice these signals and act with intent. Don't get lost in your distractions. Don't miss the signs that a woman is drawn to you. You must become the man who commands attention without having to work for it. This is a result of mastering your own life, just as the Stoics did. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Your attraction to women should be a byproduct of your discipline, not something you chase or crave. To win at life and in love, you must stay true to the wisdom of Stoicism. Focus on mastering your own mind and emotions, and let others be drawn to you. It's not about arrogance. It's about having a rock-solid foundation of self-assurance that radiates power. This is what makes you highly attractive without having to say a word. In the world of attraction, actions speak louder than words, and this is where you must act decisively. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By remaining composed and confident, you prove your worth to the world without the need for validation from anyone. Women may not always say it out loud, but they will notice your presence and they will be drawn to you. Remember, attraction isn't just about looks. It's about how you carry yourself, the energy you exude, and how well you understand the inner workings of human behavior. This is your power. Don't waste it. Take control of your life, and others will follow. Embrace Stoicism as your guiding principle, and you will not only win in love, but master all areas of your life. Just as Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Be the man who reacts with strength, confidence, and poise. That's how you win. 7. People assume you have options. And here it is, the 7th sign. People assume you have options. Even when you don't, people just know women are chasing you, that you've got a never-ending line of dates waiting for your attention, and that you never have to exert any effort to get what you want. It's almost laughable, right? You might not even be dating anyone at the moment, but somehow people think you're that guy, the one who just has options. And the truth is, when women, and really anyone, thinks you have options, your attractiveness shoots through the roof. Here's the magic. When a man carries himself with confidence, doesn't come off as desperate for attention, and moves through life with purpose, women automatically assume other women already want him. This psychological phenomenon is called pre-selection, and let me tell you, it's one of the most powerful attraction triggers there is. Women want what other women want. Simple as that. You may not even be trying to impress anyone, but if you're carrying yourself with that "I've got my life together" aura, women will pick up on it, and they'll want a piece of it too. If she thinks other women are already in your orbit, she'll likely feel a magnetic pull herself. Have you ever heard a woman say something like, "I bet you have a ton of girls sliding into your DMs"? Or maybe, "Oh, I know guys like you. You probably break hearts for fun." What she's actually doing is revealing her own interest, because if she weren't attracted to you, she wouldn't care in the first place. A guy with no options doesn't get called a player, but a man with perceived options? That's the guy who keeps people curious, keeps them on their toes, and most importantly, keeps them wanting more. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. If you're that attractive guy, women will even get possessive over you before you've even started dating. You'll catch her rolling her eyes when she sees you talking to another woman, or she might suddenly get cold if you mention in passing that you're seeing someone else. It's almost absurd. She doesn't even have the right to be jealous yet, but she feels it anyway, because in her mind, she's already competing for your attention. The reality is, if a woman gets territorial over you before anything has even started, it means she already sees you as high value. And here's where the old Stoic wisdom comes in. You don't chase attention. You don't chase anyone. You move through the world with an iron mind, rooted in Stoic principles, and that's what draws others to you. You don't have to force anything. Your calm, unshakable confidence speaks for itself. The truth is, attraction isn't about playing games or being someone you're not. It's about embodying the values of a high-value man, someone who values himself, who doesn't settle for less, and who knows the true meaning of being present in every moment. So remember, don't chase. Be who you are, stand firm in your identity, and the rest will follow. The women who are meant to be in your life will find you. No need for flashy moves or desperate posturing. That, my friend, is the real secret. And when it comes down to it, you must realize that the most attractive trait of all is simply being grounded, not needing approval from others and sticking to your principles, just as the Stoics would advise. You are the man of your own life, and the more you stand by that, the more others will take notice. If you've made it this far, you're already standing out. Most men never catch on to the power of this mindset. They stay stuck in the cycle, desperate for attention, unaware of their own value. But you're becoming the man who naturally commands respect and attraction. Please comment below. I carry myself with purpose, and the world sees it. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope these signs gave you some solid insight into how you might be more attractive than you think, often without even realizing it. Remember, attractiveness isn't just about physical looks. It's about confidence, presence, and how you carry yourself. If you see these signs in your life, it's a huge indicator that you're on the right track. So own it, keep being your best self, and stay grounded in your value. People will notice, even when they don't say it out loud. And here's a piece of advice from the Stoic wisdom. Always stay true to yourself and never feel the need to prove your worth. Confidence that comes from within is the most attractive thing you can possess. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next one.